The rain fell in silver needles as Aiko Mori stepped off the train in Kurosawa, the kind of town that clung to its secrets like a drowning man to driftwood. Her leather notebook was already damp from the storm, but she barely noticed. 17-year-old Emi Takada had vanished here 3 months ago, and the police had stopped looking after a week. Aiko found Emi's mother sitting by the window of their cramped apartment, staring at the alley where her daughter was last seen. The woman didn't turn when Aiko entered. "They told me she ran away," Mrs. Takada whispered. Her fingers trembled around a teacup. But her shoes were still by the door. That night in her hotel, Aiko spread the case files across the bed. The last photo from Emi's phone showed blurred figures approaching. 3, maybe 4 shadows with their faces smeared by motion. Then she found it. Beneath the police report, a single page torn from a journal. "They said no one would hear me scream," Emi had written. They were right. A floorboard creaked in the hallway. Aiko froze. The scratching started softly at first, fingernails dragging along her door. When she wrenched it open, the corridor was empty. Only a child's hairpin lay on the threshold, its butterfly charm glinting under the flickering hall light. The next morning, Aiko found the arcade where Emi's classmates still gathered. The air smelled of sweat and stale soda. Across the room, 4 boys sat clustered around a broken Street Fighter cabinet. Ryo, Ken, Taku, and Dai, Emi's last known companions. "Emi?" "Yeah, we walked her home that night," Ryo said, his smile not reaching his eyes. His knuckles were scraped raw. Behind him, Ken twirled a set of car keys nervously. Too nervously. A girl with chipped nail polish pressed a folded note into Aiko's hand in the bathroom. "Ask about Hollow House," it read. The toilet stall next to them flushed abruptly, though no one had entered. That evening, Ryo's little brother waited by Aiko's rental car. The boy's eyes were red-rimmed. "He made me promise not to tell," he whispered, shoving a blood-crusted baseball glove into her hands before darting away. The glove still held the metallic tang of old violence. Aiko barely registered the crunch of glass underfoot until she saw her shattered windshield, and the VHS tape placed neatly on the driver's seat. The static hissed to life on her hotel TV. For 3 agonizing seconds, the screen showed Emi, gagged, her pupils blown wide with terror. Then, black. Hollow House stood at the town's edge, its sagging porch groaning under Aiko's weight. The lock gave way with one sharp kick. Inside, the air clung thick and rancid. Urine, sweat, and something sweetly rotten. The beam of her flashlight caught rusted shackles bolted to the floor. Tally marks scarred the walls, some fresh enough to still smell of chalk. In the corner, a mattress bore the unmistakable brown stains of old blood, and one fresh cigarette burn. The lockbox under the floorboards nearly slipped from her shaking hands. The VHS inside was labeled Emi's graduation in childish block letters. Static. Then laughter. Young, male, drunk on cruelty. The camera shook as someone whimpered off-screen. Aiko's breath hitched just as the upstairs floorboard screamed. She spun in time to see Ken's silhouette fill the doorway, a baseball bat dangling from his grip. "Reporter, San," he tutted, stepping forward. "You weren't invited." The bat whistled past her ear as she dove through a broken window. Glass tore her palms, but she ran until her lungs burned, Ken's laughter chasing her through the trees. Detective Sato's office reeked of whiskey and regret. Their fathers own the cannery, he muttered, sliding a blackened file across the desk. The mayor's son, the police commissioner's nephew. 3 pages had been razored out. Rio's garage smelled of gasoline and despair. He swung from the rafters, his suicide note fluttering at Aiko's feet. We did things. Bad things. But they made us. Outside, a car engine growled to life. The black sedan followed her all the way to the station. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number. The attachment loaded slowly. A photo of her hotel bed. The sheets still rumpled from that morning. At the post office, Aiko hesitated before dropping the envelope in the slot. Across the street, 3 men in tailored suits watched from a Blacktown car. The tallest one smiled as he lit a cigarette, the flame illuminating the police commissioner's badge on his lapel. Somewhere in Tokyo, a press would start rolling. But in Kurosawa, the rain kept falling, washing away everything but the whispers. Final image. Prompt. A payphone ringing in an empty alley. The receiver dangles, swaying slightly as if just dropped. On the wet pavement beneath it, a single butterfly hairpin glints in the moonlight,